All right, I'll admit it, I haven't opened Revit 2025 yet. So I thought it'd be an awesome episode to open it live, go through some of the new features, and react. So without further ado, let's jump into episode 108 of BIM After Dark Live and hang out with me as we explore the new features of Revit 2025. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of BIM After Dark Live. My name is Jeff, also known as the Revit Kid. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday night. As I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be going through Revit 2025 and reacting live to some of the new features, giving my commentary, but also just playing around with it. So I'm super excited to do that. I think it'll be fun. As you guys know, if you're here live tonight on a Thursday night, it is live, and I will be checking the chat. So feel free to ask questions. Maybe if there's some features that you want me to try out live or talk about, feel free to jump them in there, and hopefully this will be a nice, engaging conversation. I see we've already got some returning audience members who are always here, so thank you guys for joining us. Rick is here from Strong Island, New York, or Long Island, New York. We got Steve is here, Christopher, quite a few folks who are here every week, so I appreciate it. If it's your first time here, this is a weekly live stream in which we talk about BIM, Revit, technology, and the architecture, engineering, construction industry, and everything kind of adjacent to it. No guests tonight, just me, so let's sit back, relax, and have a good time, and we're going to jump right into it. Also, please feel free to subscribe. We're at almost 87,000 subscribers, and we're pushing towards that 100,000 goal. So you guys can help me. Also, don't forget, this is live. So if for some reason there's some issues with the stream, audio, video, definitely let me know in the chat, and I'll try to fix it as we're going along the way. So let's jump into this, man. I'm pretty excited. So as I mentioned, haven't opened it yet. First time. I installed it yesterday or 2 days ago. The license isn't even working correctly, so I'm on the 30-day trial right now until my license catches up. Long story there. But it is fully working and it's up. I have 2024 and 2025 open. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to use this screen here, which is the what's new page from Autodesk. And I'm going to kind of use that as a guideline. I'm not going to go through every single feature. Obviously, we only have an hour here, and I'm going to highlight some of the ones that I was most intrigued in when I heard about them. And definitely, there's already some great videos out there. Nick over at Pure Revit has an awesome video here on YouTube. Vulcan Architect, Milos has a great one. Dan Stein wrote a nice article on AEC bytes. BIMsmith produced some nice content around 2025. So feel free to check all of that stuff out too. This is going to be my take on it and sort of my exploration of the software. I see there's a whole bunch of questions and stuff in there. Wow, oh my goodness, so many questions already. I can't believe it. Remember, I haven't opened it yet, so you can ask me questions and I'm going to answer them the best I can and best of my knowledge based on what I've read and seen and so on. But we're going to do this. Looks like there's questions about .NET, .NET 8. So I guess before I jump in, I might as well answer that question. They converted, I guess is the term. I'm not even sure that's the right term, but basically the framework behind it all, behind Revit, is now on .NET 8, which is just the Windows framework behind it. As far as I know, it's going to be some work for add-in guys and girls to update their add-ins. The first question I know everyone's going to ask is, should I upgrade? Should I upgrade? I'm always of the believer that you should upgrade as soon as possible, but I do understand that if you have a plugin or two that you completely rely on for your daily life and work, and it's not available yet for 2025, then obviously don't upgrade. So otherwise, if it's not, other than plugins, I mean, I'd never see a reason not to update. I mean, there's going to be bugs in 25. There's still bugs in 24. There's still bugs in 23, 22, and 21. So to me, there's never, it's add-ins I understand, and I don't know, the effort's going to be on their part to get those going. But I'm hoping things like D-Roots and PyRevit, I'm hoping those guys can catch up real fast, because I know those are ones I use all the time. Okay, so if I jump into this list, if you guys haven't seen this list, I'll actually link it. I'll link it into the description below of sort of what's new. And so they kind of categorize it as sort of overall highlights, and then there's core features, architectural features, system features like MEP, structure, and then some more information on it. And sort of the highlights you could see here. Architects got a lot of love this time, which I think they usually do. So thanks Autodesk for that. There's definitely some features that I think MEP and the engineering group will enjoy, but architects definitely got a lot of love this time. So as an architect, kudos to you, Autodesk, and for my engineering pals, I'm sorry, I guess. Oh, hello from Indonesia. How's it going? Just checking the sheet collections. Yeah, we'll check out sheet collections as one of those. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. We're gonna do this right now. So as you can see, the highlight list, I'll kind of probably start with the highlight list and go from there. We're going to start with some topo solids, some array, a small change to the array families, which is actually a small change that has a major impact. Background to PDF. Some of these things are really cool, and I think they'll be able to show really fast. They seem like small things, but I know a lot of you guys who spent a lot of times in Revit, some of these things are going to be game changers to just your overall way of life or outlook on life, I guess. I don't know how to put it, but you get what I'm saying. So let's jump in. Let's look at the topo solids first. So you can see here, topo solid enhancements is one of the big things, and it was also one of the big features that was released in 24. And so hopefully a lot of you guys have been in 24 and playing with it, and you've definitely, if you're like me, you see the potential and the benefits of the Topo Solid tool over the old Topo Surface tool. But obviously there was a lot of shortcomings and a lot of weird things that were happening as it was a brand new tool, and they're clearly developing it more. So when it comes to 2025, what they've done is they've taken a lot of that feedback, I assume, is where they got most of this, but just general knowledge of some of the things that should have been updated anyways, and they've started incorporating it into them. So, but actually, before we jump into Topo Solid, I guess I will, and I'm actually a little afraid to do this live because I think it's technically still in beta, but there is a new home screen, and so I'm going to flip it on. I don't know if it's going to break. I literally haven't flipped it on before. So let's jump over. I'll minimize this. I'll open Mr. 2025 or Mrs. 2025, I guess. And you'll see here's the 2025 home screen. You'll notice on the bottom here, it says new Revit home. And so I believe this is still technically like a beta or a testing platform of the new home screen, but I'm gonna flip it and see what happens. And hopefully it doesn't blow anything up. So I flip the switch, and well, this looks pretty much the same. I guess if I go to Autodesk projects, there's no projects in my BIM 360 or ACC accounts, I'm assuming, that are in 2025. So that's why I don't see anything there. And then looks like some Insight stuff. So maybe you could throw in some graphs and some cards and stuff from Insight. So I guess not much to look at here. I mean, I guess this is kind of nice. You could organize it by different things. You could search recent files and whatnot. So maybe this populates. It'll be nice. And then obviously, as I have projects, in Revit 2025, which there's some projects, but these aren't. I don't think these are in 2025. So let's browse BIM 360/ACC, which is kind of nice. I think that's kind of neat, as opposed to the open from the cloud or whatever it was there. I guess I also have 2024 open, so to compare, this is 2024. If I hit Autodesk Docs, load, you can see here you kind of have the older school layout of kind of the project file. So, I mean, you're kind of getting the same information. Not really sure what the benefits of that are. I guess it's just a new UI. I'm not really sure. Let's see if they say anything about what the improvement is over that. The new home screen. I don't even see it here. There we go. New Revit home tech preview. Navigate with folders, structure, search, retrieval. history data. All right, so maybe as this thing populates, there'll just be more information that you'll see on it. I don't know. I don't know. That was underwhelming as far as the new home screen is concerned. So, I kind of wanted to see what that looked like. I saw someone mention on a post that there was a new home screen. So there we go. I guess maybe as it populates, we'll see maybe more data will come through. It seemed like it was a little snappier getting to BIM 360. So time will tell on that one, I guess. All right, so let's jump into Topo Solids and let's bump out of the core features. So if we look at Topo Solids, there's a few different things that I'm kind of excited about. One is the ability to they call it excavate, but just different ways to basically cut holes in the Topo Solid. And so, as I mentioned in my 2024 video, super excited to have Topo Solids. I think it's going to be massive as far as flexibility with topography and the flexibility with being able to cut it. And if you saw my 2024 video, I was hosting all kinds of objects to it because it was a surface now, which is awesome. But one of the downfalls of it was you had to basically make an in-place void to cut the surface, right? So in order to make, instead of pads, because pads don't exist anymore, you basically had to make an in-place component, sketch out your pieces, and then cut it with that. It was cool because you could cut tunnels and holes underground and stuff, but it's kind of a pain in the butt, right? And so what they've done is they've added a couple features that allow us to cut the surface in different ways, so to excavate the soil in different ways. So let's jump in and we'll let me get out of 2024, go back to 2025. We're going to start a new model. As I said, I'm having issues with my license, so I'm actually technically on the 30-day trial, which is fine. I'll check this chat out while I'm going. Electric Rob said I did a review of electrical, not a very long review. Yes, like I said, architects got a lot of love. I know there's some features in there, but sorry, I don't control all that stuff. I apologize. Okay, so first things first. Oof, I love the dark theme, but not the dark canvas. Why would they default that? Come on. If you guys don't know how to get out of the dark canvas, under View, there's a canvas theme toggle right here. See that? So I can actually flip between it. If you saw my review of 2024, I love the dark theme, but not a dark canvas. No, thank you for a dark canvas. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in 3D and do the Topo Solid work because I think it'll be more fun that way. And I'm gonna go over to, remember I haven't touched 25, so I'm gonna be finding the buttons too, but I think it's kind of cool to see it, probably watch someone do it because you'll probably go through the same thing as me. And when you see my polished videos, this is what I'm doing before the polished video anyway, so you get to kind of see the sausage being made, but I think this will be fun. So I'm going to create a new Topo Solid from scratch. I'm going to make a boundary. I'm going to make it a rectangle for now. We can talk about how you can make it a little more complex later. Click Finish. We got ourselves a nice Topo Solid. I'm going to apply my 70-50-20 rule to my view. If you guys don't know what that is, search my channel for that. But it is the only way every 3D view in your Revit project should ever look. 70. In fact, it should be default. I should talk to Autodesk, make it the default out of the box. But okay, 70-50-20. Okay, cool. Check this out. Dean said I always use black background. Kudos to you, man. But no, thank you. I'm not modeling in 3D with a black background. Hell no. Like, look at this. Why would I mean, come on, guys. Like, you really want to model like this? Like, come on. Anyways, CAD's gone, guys. This is Revit. Okay, so we have ourselves a Topo Solid here. There's a couple types already in here. We don't have to go through that, but I'm gonna draw some points on it. So for those who haven't seen the Topo Solid tool or saw my review of 24 or any of those videos, it's essentially a floor. And so if you imagine that you're drawing a floor and then you're modifying the points of a floor to make it, then you basically know how to use the Topo Solid tool. So if you've ever done a pitched roof or something with floors and modifying points, then you know how to use Topo Solids. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add some points, and you can see here we've got some features. I think Snap XYZ is a new one, I believe. So it used to be a long surface, absolute. I feel like these changed a little bit from 24. So maybe we'll open 24 and we'll kind of compare. But you can see it could be built off of project-based point, survey point, the top plane of it, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of neat. You can set where your points are going to go off of, and then you can type. Oh, look at that. Where's my Oh, offset from surface right here. Silly me. So I have to, I'll point in, let's put 5 feet, press enter. So you can see right here, 5 feet. And I'll just draw some 5-foot contours. Oh, I forgot I'm going along the surface. Check that out. Ooh. So I have this set to along the surface. So as I was clicking each one of these, it's doing it 5 foot from that particular surface. That's kind of cool, but not what I wanted to do here. So let me undo that. Try this again. We're going to do absolute, and we're going to do 5 feet from the project base point. So now it doesn't matter what it is. All right, that's going all right. So there's a little 5-footer. Then we'll do a 10-footer in the middle here. So one of the things that drove me nuts doing this is the way that it triangulates it. And I believe that there's a feature now that lets you make that graphically look a little better. So you can see I did just a little surface here, like a 12-foot change. All right, so there we go here. And now I believe there's a way to smooth it now, but I don't know where it is. Maybe it's under site settings. Let's see. Masking in site. Oh, look at that, man. Don't know how I found that by myself, but hey. So under masking in site, this is a new feature in 25. You can see there's an option for Topo solid smooth shading. And so if I turn that on, surface patterns won't display. Oh, look at that. So turning on, hey Aaron, what's up, man? So turning on smooth limitations of the smooth shading is no surface patterns, and material displays cannot be overridden with paint or graphics. Okay, so you can't paint the edges. All right, fine, whatever. So now you're getting a result more like what you expect from Topo surface versus Topo solids. So that triangulation is smoothed out. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. I think you probably can. So if I turn it off again, just so you can see the shadows there, and there it is on again. So that's kind of nice. I wonder what it looks like when I go to modify the elements. So when you're modifying the sub elements, you're still getting crap for the triangles, but that's okay. When you're done with that, it's doing the surface. So let's just add another point. What was this guy here? This was 5, 6, 7. Let's do 7 feet. I don't know about you guys, but it annoys me when these straight lines here. So I'm going to make that what it should be. So much better. If you guys didn't know how to do that, adding more contours helps you smooth out some of those areas where you get like flats in Topo. See, I just added 1 foot contours there, and now I've got what you would expect there, which is pretty nice. All right. Sorry, the chat is actually going really fast. So I'm gonna do my best to catch up, but there's a lot of stuff here. And sorry if I offend anyone about white backgrounds versus black backgrounds, but it's just the truth, right? Black background is CAD. I don't care what you say. Dark theme is perfectly fine. Okay, so smooth shading's awesome. We've got some other options as far as modifying sub elements. So if I want to add a point, I have a long surface, absolute, and snap XYZ. What's snap XYZ do? So offset from snaps. Ooh, so it's gonna snap to something and then offset from an object. So if you have like a floor or something, it'll offset it, 5 feet from the floor, which means it'd probably do the same for surface, right? Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of neat. We'll have to test that out. So let's test this out right here. Let's do, let's put a floor in here. Put a floor in here. Topo solids overlap. Did I put a Topo solid, not a floor? Oopsies. No, that's a floor. Okay. Oh, that's kind of funny. So the floor, I want to read that error again. Hold on. Did it say floors overlapped? Show related warnings. Let's see. Oh, so Topo solids and floors overlapping is a warning, huh? That's kind of interesting. Is that because it's a floor tool? It's a modified floor tool. Okay, so as you can see here, here's my floor. So real quick, I just want to test that XYZ thing, or that point. So if I go to add point, snap XY, oh yeah, pretty neat, huh? Look, it's snapping to the edge of this this floor, and so Yeah. Oh, that's kind of annoying. It's going to tell me it overlaps the whole time. So if I have it set to 0, it's actually snapping to the edge of an object. Obviously, if I did like -1 feet, then if I click it here, it's going down 1 foot. That's pretty neat, actually. I could see where that could come in handy. Huh. All right, let's undo that. All right, sweet. Is everyone still really talking about the dark theme and the black background? You guys, that's so 2024. Let's not debate that anymore. Awesome. Okay. Hate the false warning pop-up. Yeah, that is, I have to say, that's kind of annoying. I don't think there should be a warning when a floor overlaps a topo solid. So maybe think about that, Autodesk, please. It's not the same. I mean, I know it's the floor tool. Like, let's be real. You made the floor tool and you just turned it into topo solid. But let's not throw that warning, huh? All right. So real quickly, topo solids. Let's check. There's a couple of the excavation sides of it. So I believe there's some Boolean surfaces, which means you can slice based on. You can host elements to the surface after it's been cut, and then I believe it can be cut by like floors and stuff. So let's try cutting it with a floor. Again, I've never done this before, so bear with me. And you guys are, there you go, there's the warning. So just, ooh, that's I don't like that at all. Please fix that, Autodesk. Okay, so every time I put the floor within the topo solid, it's yelling at me, which is kind of crappy. All right, so let's bring this thing down. Let's see, now that it's in the floor, if I go again, is it gonna yell at me again? No, okay. So once it warns me, it doesn't, all right, whatever. Okay, so how the heck do we cut this thing with it? Let's see. Ooh, excavate. So I selected the topo solid, and I can click excavate, and then I can click a floor. Hey. All right, that is nice. That is nice. And it's solid. It's not cut through. We got the edge here. If I hide this, there's the bottom of my surface. And now you can host to this guy inside and out, which is pretty sweet. So if I put a railing over this, let's see what happens. And I say pick host. Pick new host. Do I need a break in it maybe? Let's put a couple breaks and see what happens. It's trying. It's trying. All right, well, I guess if it was angled or something, we could try it. But if I pick the bottom, pick new host. All right. I was just trying to do what you guys showed there. What did they show there? Oh, yeah, they have a nice slope there. That's why. It's not just solid. Okay, so that's pretty neat. And then if you want to unexcavate it, let me get the floor again. Undo the floor. If you want to unexcavate it, you say unexcavate, and then you click the object. And then highlighted floors overlap. Oh my God, that they need to change that. That is, whew, that's awful. Oh my God, that's awful. Okay, so that's pretty cool. The other thing I believe is shafts now. So if you put a shaft in, so I just went under architecture and shaft. If I draw a rectangle here, which I guess you could use shaft, doesn't matter. So you can see the shaft is automatically hitting the floor, which is, or Xing out or excavating the floor. So that's kind of cool, and it's not going all the way through it. I think in 2024 it went all the way through it. So that's kind of cool. So you have a couple of different ways to cut it, which is very nice. And then Tyler mentioned the excavate will show you the volume. So yeah, so similar to you could do that in the topo surfaces back in the day too. It was just the way that you had to set up phasing and stuff. So let's try that again. So let's see what he's talking about. So if I hit here, click excavate, click this guy. Let's see, where's the volume? The volume. There's your total excavation, 6,268 cubic feet. Nice. And individual excavation. Oh, that is cool. Let's make a couple other ones. That is so awesome. If you guys go and check one of my videos from many years ago where I talk about how to do this with topo surfaces, and I believe I walked through it and stuff. That fucking excuse me, live. That freaking warning. That's gonna be very annoying. So let's click this guy. Let's click excavate. There we go. So now if I click this in my properties, total excavation 10,000 cubic yards. If I go to view, both, that's really cool. Man, kudos to that one. That's really neat. It should have been that easy even in Topo surfaces. So maybe I'll put a link below if you guys want to check it out later of the video from many years ago where I was explaining how to actually do a cut fill with the Topo surface tool. So that right there, that's awesome. Yeah, I like that a lot. And so which means you could also cut it using other things, which is really good. All right, so what else with Topo solids? Anything else before we move on from those? Set elevation, we talked about that. Oh, you can create a topo solid from mass face. That's kind of cool, I guess. So you make a mass, and then you could say a topo solid by face. I guess that's kind of neat. I mean, maybe where that might come in handy is if you're bringing in solids. I wonder what if we can do it to like different solid surface meshes or something like that. Yeah, shaft, excavated, cool. All right. Well, that's pretty neat. Some nice updates to topo solids. Yeah, I think in general, definitely check out my 2024 video on topo solids too, because I explain why I'm super excited about them. The fact that it's a solid now and you can do it. I think being able to excavate using a floor and other objects, because it's not just floor actually, by the way. Excavate works, I believe, with a few other objects now. I don't have it up here, but I think you can excavate with walls and some other things. If anyone knows, type it in there. I don't see it in this link, but you can. I believe you can excavate with. Oh, here we go. Roof, floor, or topo solid. All right, I thought it was more than that, but that's okay. Why would you want to cut it with a roof, or excavate it with a roof? Huh? That's weird. Why would you? Whatever. So because it's the same object, probably. Whatever. Okay. Awesome, that's Topo Solids. Before we jump into the next feature, which is a family creation feature that I'm super excited for, I am going to take a quick moment to talk about the BIM After Dark community for supporting this live stream and supporting me in this show for many years. So with that, we're gonna have a quick little word from Jerry, who's a member of our community, and then we'll hop back and jump into some more content from 2025.
Hi, my name's Jerry Piscucci. I'm the BIM manager at Irwin and Layton. I've joined the community to learn some extra tips and tricks. Been working in Revit since 2010. I've been attached to Revit for a long time, always trying to push the envelope, learn more, do more, get more out of it. For Irwin and Layton, I do a lot of project coordination using Navisworks. When you announced that you were starting the community, I was really excited about that. I've been subscribed ever since you started the community. I feel like it's just a great resource to have between just getting answers from you, also having the entire community to be able to answer questions as well. Training tutorials I watch over and over again. They're just a great resource to have. And on top of that, all of the template files and sample files. At one point I had a question, how to make a jack arch. And I reached out, Jeff provided me with a video, and I couldn't get the pattern to align along the arch. With Jeff's video and additional help, I was able to get this jack arch to be modeled in there perfectly.
All right, thanks, Jerry. So yeah, if you guys are interested in joining the community, head on over to community.bimafterdark.com. You can hang out with me and all the rest of the amazing members, learn awesome stuff. Join live office hours. We had office hour 84 yesterday. And yeah, it's been around for 4 years now. Actually, we're hitting the 4-year anniversary, and it's an incredible place to connect online as well as learn Revit. All my full courses are there, sample files, office hours, and we're going to be potentially doing some live events. So head on over to community.bimafterdark.com. All right, real quick, there was a question from Scoured. Hey, Scoured, welcome back. Love having you in the chat. Asking what happens if there's overlapping floors. So while Jerry was talking, I quickly checked it out. So this floor is 3 feet above this floor. And so if I go like that, you can see it is actually cutting it correctly. I was fully anticipating a warning or error of some sort, but that's kind of neat. So I think that's going to be sweet. All these features, especially the ones that, and maybe in the chat or let me know, shoot me a message on Twitter or in the comments after the video. Anyone that you want me to expand on and do more detail and have more fun with, let me know, and I'll make extra videos on them. I want to just kind of touch on them and give reactions to it today. So the next one I want to talk about is an array family. This is kind of like, it's kind of interesting because I'm wondering, I have to imagine that this must have been on a, where's the highlights? Maybe on a community board thing. It's just so specific that it's kind of funny that it got integrated. I think it's awesome, but it's just so specific that I'm almost surprised that that Autodesk did it, just because I don't know. It's such a niche little thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new family. And I believe I have some content online. If not, I definitely have in my family creation course where I show the old way of doing this. And I think actually, if you check out my there's a live stream. I'll put the episode below where I did talk all about array families. So I'll put that link below. But basically, when you've typically, or in the past, when you had an array. So if I just quickly model, and I know there's gonna be no parameters, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But when you had in the family editor, if you had an array. So AR on the keyboard is array, right? And I'm going to do 6, whatever. And then what you can do is if you click the little line that comes up for the array tool on here, the only place where the label still is on the options bar, you can assign a parameter to it. So I can sit here and I can say number of boxes, right? Right. So in the past, what would happen is if that number couldn't be 0. So if I type 0 now and I click apply, you'll notice it goes to 2, but then it actually turns it off, right? It turns, and so what I'm showing here is if I say preview visibility, you can see there's nothing there. If I turn it to 1, it goes on. If I turn it to 3, it goes to 3. If I turn it to 0, it disappears. It turns to 0. So that's actually really awesome. Like I'm not upset about that being there. It's just kind of funny because it's like, I don't know, like the way that we fixed it in the past was it was actually a pretty simple formula and like a checkbox and stuff. And again, check out my array video. I'll put it below. That's cool. I'm glad it's there. I think it's going to make some people's lives easier, but like I would have rather had you spend your time, I don't know, on the stair tool or something. I don't know. So cool, whatever. There's the feature. If you're a family creator and you're making arrays all the time, I agree. And I guess, I'm assuming maybe there's a performance thing. And I don't know, maybe that's what Aaron's saying in there. Simplify, yeah. So I guess removing the formulas, removing that. I'm assuming it's going to simplify families. I get that part of it, but it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe you could have spent time on something else. Whatever. That's just my feeling. Awesome though. Awesome. So the sheet grouping. This is one that I'm interested in. I think there's sheets in this, right? Yeah. So is that on the list here? Let me see. Back up here. Yeah. So background PDF and sheet grouping, or sheet collections, they call them. And so this is something where in the past we've kind of we've used parameters and some interesting ways to sort of group and categorize our sheets by discipline or whatever we want. And so here, if I right click where it says sheets all, I can create a new sheet collection. I guess I can rename this architecture. And then, I don't know, what do I do here? I can create a new sheet in it, or can I just drag and drop? Let's see. Okay, cool. So I can drag and drop it in there. and then it becomes sort of a collection. And I believe that collection is visible in things like printing and exporting and stuff like that, right? So I guess it's a good advancement on sheet sets and not having to potentially do all those parameters. And as I see here, it's actually a parameter within it, sheet collection architecture. So I'm assuming schedule-wise, all that other stuff. So it's eliminating the extra step of making those parameters and dealing with that stuff, and then it's giving the ability to do those within exporting and printing. So that's kind of cool. So definitely check that out. It seems pretty straightforward. I don't know if I'm missing anything as far as the functionality of it. Yeah. So select views. Yeah. So when you're selecting views, you can multiply them. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah. So that's nice. I'm not upset about that. On that note, I guess if we print a PDF and we look at this thing. Oh, I'm doing print. I think. Excuse me. Let's see. Oh, sorry. This is where I want to go. So print a PDF in the background. I could definitely see, or export to PDF. I could definitely see that being valuable for those who. I'm working on a project right now where the design team tomorrow, or probably right now, maybe tomorrow, they're printing and publishing. They probably already published it and they're going through it, but they're publishing an 800 sheet set, PDF set with 800 sheets in it, maybe more than 800 at this point in time. So I can imagine that being able to run that in the background. But at the same time, I don't know. In some cases, you're also not, I'm not working in the background when I'm pumping sheets out, but if sheets take 3 hours to print or something, then I guess it makes sense. But it looks to me, and maybe you guys can correct me with this, but it looks to me that you have to use the PDF export tool and not like the print to PDF, right? So you're using export range, PDF file in the background, I believe. So let's take a look here. So if I go to export to PDF, so and I'm only saying that because I know there's some people that still use different PDF printers and maybe prefer it for different reasons. But I believe for this background to happen, you have to use this tool, which is the file export PDF. And you can see here, what do I want to do? I can do all sheets, current window, selected sheets. If I hit here, you can see I can filter by different things. I can filter by the sheet set. Here it is there. There's our lovely sheet set, which is kind of cool. And so all that information is in there, which is nice. And then right here, it says export in the background. I'm not going to do it now, obviously, because, why would I don't know. It's live. But that's kind of nice. I think all you got to do is check that box and everything else runs exactly as it is. So that's pretty awesome. So kudos to some efficiency improvements there. Definitely. I'm assuming there's people, I didn't even check in the chat, but I'm assuming there's people that are pretty pumped about that. At the same time, though, maybe there's some people who like to take a 3-hour break when it was PDFing and use that as an excuse to not do any work for 3 hours. But we won't talk about that. Okay, so that's the PDF. What's new in Revit 25? So that's export to PDF. Oh, the wall joins. That's a cool one. So let's check out auto wall joins and then the multiple alignment. Sorry, I know I'm probably gonna be running through most of the architecture stuff, but I'll try and hit the MEP stuff. I'm an architect and I don't pretend to be an engineer. So maybe we'll have an engineer who's living in Revit MEP come on a separate stream and we talk about just 2025 for Revit for engineering, whether it's mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structural, you name it. Okay, so let's do this wall thing. So I'll leave that there. Why not? So if I have a wall here, we'll do a 8-inch wall like this and this and this and this and this. And then if I place remember I haven't done this before, so bear with me as I figure this out. Is there a generic 4-inch brick anymore? That's all right. We'll just do a furred wall. It's fine. So let's say this wall, which is a 3 5/8 1 hour wall, let's say it's furred against that. So the old way of doing it is kind of this, right? You would go finish face, exterior, interior. So I'm gonna do finish face, interior, and click to this And, oh, is it already set? Must be already set, huh? Son of a gun. No, sorry, I was on fine. I was on course. So normally this would be the case, right? And then you would have to go to modify, you'd have to go to join, and then you click here, click here, click here, click here. And, or not. What did I do here? Did I not join them? Let's try this again. Join. Oh, I guess that's a thinner line. There's the thinner line. I don't know. What scale is this thing at? Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, so those are kind of joined now. So what happens now is as you're drawing the walls, there it is. So as you're drawing a wall, there's an option here for auto join and lock. Lock is kind of interesting. So it places the walls together and it locks them together? Huh. That could be cool, but also dangerous. All right, so I'm going to click auto join, and now if I go like, of course, why would I ever go the right way? So now if I go from here to here, and then from here to here, oh, is it not on? This one kind of did it. Let's just clean that up. Oh, but it's still not joining to this guy. So it's working, cool, but the inside corners, as you can see, you're still going to need to click here and click here to join it. But nice, works for me. Still, again, to me that's a that's a lot of these things. It seems like these are workflow and efficiency improvements. So kudos to that. That's pretty neat. I guess it's kind of hard for it to figure out what wall it needs to join to, but at the same time, is it? So I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So you click auto join as you're going through it, and I guess you could do auto join and lock, so then it would stay there, which is pretty sweet. The other thing with walls, while we're on the topic, that is also a new feature is controlling wrapping when you're in this plan, when you're in a working view, essentially, as opposed to jumping in. So in the past, you had to have a wall that was wrapping and a wall that was not wrapping, and kind of have two types, even though it might be the same wall. And so for those that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, if I go here, I was going to do shaded, but what the hell? Why is it? Huh. It's weird. Why is the brick not red? Oh, is this a template thing for this guy? Huh. That's weird. Does anyone know why the brick is dark like that? For a shaded view? Well, I'll keep it hidden line for now. So if I go to edit type, right, normally and in the past what you had to do is go to edit, and then you would say, I would like you to wrap at ends, let's say, or inserts, right? But we're going to do ends for now. I'm going to say exterior, so it's going to do that, and click OK, and OK. And so that was a setting that you had to have. Basically, if you wanted the two types that did either one, you had to kind of do that, right? Now you can see this wall, now that has wrapping, it has these little lines on the end, and I can actually turn wrapping on and off. So I don't need two wall types for the same wall, so that's nice. And I believe it works the same for openings too, if you want to turn it on and off. So, again, cool improvement. If anyone has any idea why when I go to shaded view, is this the new template thing? Like, what's going on here? Is there a discipline thing? I don't know what color scheme. Huh. Like, why would that not look the way I expect it to? Which is that, All right. If anyone has any idea, throw it in the chat. So, so I know what the hell's going on there. It looks like it's like in the shadows or something. I don't know. Very weird. Not openings, just for ends. Got it. Thanks, Steve. Very cool. There's some updates for IFC exports. I'm not going to talk about that. Oh, the text alignment. Again, this is one of those things that's like mind-boggling that this is a new feature, but it's also mind-boggling that's like a feature that hasn't existed in Revit. So if you have a bunch of text, and I'm excited to try this because I haven't tried it yet. So if I've got googly gobbly boot text here, and then I got text and text and text, because that's just how we work. If I select all this text, there's some alignment options. And so I believe if I click this, this one, here we go, multiple align. So if I click this, check that out. Man. That's pretty cool. And So that's awesome, right? I mean, you could select the text now and you could actually line it. I just can't believe I'm amazed by that, because it's like such a basic text. Like freaking Adobe and Bluebeam have had that in PDF markups for like 20 years. So, but cool, very very nice. And I don't know if there's any more features within that. Let's see. With the text markup thing, multiple alignment. No, just different alignment. So you could distribute. Oh, distributing is kind of cool too. I guess that's. So you could also distribute them evenly, which is nice too. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, I can't believe that this is a feature. So distribute vertically. So now it evenly places them vertically. So that's nice. So if you have crap all over the place like this, I mean, the old school way is exactly this, right? You drag and lock and align, drag and lock and align. Here now you can just select them, align left, distribute vertically, ba-boom. All right. I mean, it's cool. But again, my God, I can't believe that that's a feature. Does alignment work with tags? I don't think so. Yeah, like tags, keynotes, all that stuff. Probably not, but let's give it a whirl. I guess I'll add a few tags. I don't know if wall tag's the best one to test it on, but whatever. It's not looking like it. Let's see. Oh my goodness. It does. Hey. Okay. All right. Let's select this and then click left align, center, distribute. All right. I don't know how many tags it works with, but it works with wall tags apparently. Should we test out a couple other tags? I saw Aaron just said it doesn't work with walls as I'm doing with walls. I love that. Let me try a window tag too. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's prove Aaron Mahler wrong. Let's do it. Tag by category, window tag, and a wall tag. Let's see. Oh man, let's see. Window tag, wall tag. Select them both. Ooh, look at that. Oh man, oh man. That's cool. Okay. All right. All right. The tag part is cooler than the text part. I mean, they're both cool. It's just, again, why is this not why? What about symbols tag? Scoured, I don't know what you mean. You mean like a generic annotation, maybe? I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, I think maybe you're talking about like a generic annotation. Maybe verify, Scoured, what you're saying. Let's see what's in the template for annotations, if there's any symbols. We got a weld symbol. We got north arrows. Let's do north arrows, sure. I'm not sure if that's the best one to use, but let's select two of these. Doesn't appear that way. And then I guess we could try. Do I dare try keynotes? Do I dare try keynotes? Are there keynotes set up on this thing? I don't even know. Let's try it. Let's see. Whatever. Okay. If it works with keynotes, that would be pretty wild too. All right, I'm gonna add a couple keynotes here. Select two keynotes. Oh, it does. Select them both. Click align, distribute. Wow. All right. It didn't even say that in the Autodesk file, in the Autodesk help file. That's pretty sweet. Or maybe it did, and I just didn't read it. Oh yeah, you can now align and distribute multiple keynotes, text notes, and tags. Ta-da! Sweet. So yeah, symbols apparently not so far, generic annotations. But hey, guess we'll take what we can get. No, I don't think it was because of 2 items, Justin. I mean, I can do like I'll put a whole bunch here and see, but with the tags I did like 4 or 5 of them. So here's 3 items. There we go. Yeah, all you got to do is select them. I wonder if can we do keynotes, tags, and text? Oh man, let's see. Oh boy, you can. Look at that. Wow, and then distribute horizontally. Oh, okay, that's cool. I like that. That's pretty. So yeah, so it can do them all together. So it looks like, I'm sure there's some limitations. We'll find them like we did with the generic annotations, but That's pretty sweet. As long as you have more than one selected, it works. Or multiple selected, it seems to work. Cool. All right, man, we ran through a whole bunch so far. Let's see, what else did I want to touch on as I'm looking through this list here? Let me know if there's anything that you guys want me to try out live too in the chat. The wall wrapping we did. The Revit home preview we did. Shape editing snaps. Oh, we talked about those. I'm not going to get into the insight and operation schedule. Sorry, guys. That's just too deep for an overview live stream. Let's see. Tag by this. There's some steel stuff in there. Multiple rebars. The consistency check's kind of interesting, but I don't think I have any model that... Does that work? MEP fabrication. So is that only for fabrication parts? I have to open a fabrication file for that. But the material one. Yeah, I guess we could do the material one. Again, that one was kind of whatever. But okay. So in the material editor of Revit now. So go to View Materials. Again, just like one of those things where it's like, how was this not a feature to begin with? So I believe what I read is there's a couple updates. First is when you go to your rendered appearance, I think there's just another option for your render settings. So there was draft and production weren't enough. Now we have quick as well. So we have quick, draft, and production. So whoop-de-doo. Not too excited about that. But you can actually you can select multiple now. So I just shift selected, and then you can do things with those, which you could not do before. Actually, should I open 24 just for fun to test it out? So I'm going to jump into 24. Rebar splicing does look very nice, Justin. I'm not nearly comfortable enough with the rebar tool to jump out and create a quick example and then test it. I do like the rebar tool. I've played with it and I've used it for a couple one-off instances, but nowhere near comfortable enough to just jump in live while you guys are here without at least some playing around with it. So I'm just going to go in 2024 and go to the materials palette just so you guys can see what the difference is for that feature. Oh, of course, it opened way the hell over here. So I can't actually shift select or control select right now. See that? So, which again is like mind blowing that that's never been the case. So I would have to go through and right click and delete or rename and do whatever I can to multiples, as opposed to now I can actually right click, select, and I can delete. Whoop-de-woo. So again, efficiency update. Is it groundbreaking? No, but it's cool. Yeah, Justin, like I said, the rebar stuff does look really neat. So yeah, material update, pretty cool. Let's jump in real quick, see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Oops, sorry, wrong screen there, guys. The model alignment, there's some of the rebar tool annotation for the bends. This looks interesting. Again, I think maybe I'll have somebody come on and we'll talk about MEP updates. But I'm a huge fan of as many placeholder and analytical and like early stuff that we can do on the MEP side, the better. Like line diagrams and placeholder ducts and placeholder, like that stuff is cool. And that kind of looks like you can do that. I'm not 100% sure if I fully understand it. Your settings are still dark mode. No, Zach, I don't think that's it. Zach was talking about my walls being dark. No, I don't think it's because of the background settings. If I flip the canvas scene, that doesn't matter. It's the materiality of this, right? So if I go over here, you could see the colors of that, right? It should be like that brick and everything. It should be much, much nicer. But then I go here and it's like something kind of like shadow or something. I don't know what. Oops, that's the sheet. Okay. It's almost like there's some sort of shadow or something over my whole scene. I don't know. Turn shadows on? No. Some weird graphic display settings in the... 8060. Wait a minute. No, does that matter here? No, because shadows aren't on, right? Oh, they were on. Oh, the default in the template is 8060. What? Who made this thing? Paul. 8060. Yeah, sun and shadow settings are 8060 in the default template. Oof. And then I must have had shadows on, and so that was just blowing it out of the water. Come on. So let's do 80, 50, 20. Shadows, have some button here. and then this was underneath that. Then this thing, look at this. This was also underneath the shadow. That's why too. Let me delete my topo. That's funny. I said it looked like it was in shadow because it actually was physically in the shadow. That's funny. So I really was. It was in the shadow of the topography, but it still was 80/60, which is crazy. I got to talk to Paul or Autodesk now because it's their thing. But we got to change we should put the 70. We should all vote for the 70/50/20 rule to be baked into the template. That's what we should do. All right. Any other questions on here? Let's see. What's the link to those updates? Oh, I'll put a link to those updates in the description. I'll jump it into the chat right now too for you guys. Click here. I dumped it into the chat, but I will put it into the description below. So that'll be good. Let's see. Anything else in here? I'm just checking your guys' chat. Looks like some folks are happy about some of the continual small structural updates. Something that I didn't jump into, and maybe this is something for another guest, is some of the updates in Dynamo. So there are a few updates to Dynamo, and some that I think will be pretty cool. I read something about maybe some unlocked linked models API for Dynamo. I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know that that's, for me personally, that's pretty exciting. If there's some certain things that we can do with links now using Dynamo, I'm all for it. So I got to dig into that a little bit, but so I'll send this link. You guys can check it out. Thank you for joining. Be sure to check out other people's videos. Like I said before, Nick at Pure Revit has a great video breakdown. Milos over at Vulcan has a great video. Dan Stein has a great article over at AEC Bytes. Bim Smith has a great article. There's quite a few out there. But thank you for joining. If there's any of these new features you want to expand on, you want me to expand on in the full video, or dig in deeper and maybe start messing around, I'm excited to start messing around. This is, again, my first overview. Definitely leave a comment below. Overall, I mean, I think pretty good. I think there's some nice improvements for us architects, especially. There's some lots of nice little features in there. It's kind of interesting. Topo solids was a new feature in 24. It's been improved upon for 25, and then it seems like a lot of the other features are efficiency, productivity type of features, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, solid release so far. Hopefully there was another. One last thing that I guess I'll touch on real quick is a couple new features for BIM Pure. I'm so sorry, Nick. I said Revit Pure, BIM Pure. Yes, so over at BIM Pure. Another feature is the Revit accelerator or file accelerator or something like that. What's it called? Let's see. Last but not least, come on, where are you? Personal something or other. Well, I'll open it up over here. So when you're, can I go to settings? Here we go. So in your tray, when you install Revit 2025, you'll see a new thing, a new icon, and it's called Revit Personal Accelerator. And so what you can do with this is you can limit the amount of storage it uses when you're using cloud work sharing. Limit the amount of storage, and you can change the cache location. So that's pretty sweet. And apparently there's some updates on speed because of that. But Personal Accelerator, does it actually have a RPA? I would say RPA, Aaron, but I guess PACR, whatever. But no, yeah. So one of the big features of that is setting the limit, but then also being able to modify the cache location is nice. Anyone who's been dealing with Revit Cloud Work Sharing over the last couple of years, amazing the fact that we have it, and it's awesome. Anyone who's been in the days of Revit server and WAN accelerators and all the crap we used to do to work in multiple offices and use a Revit central file, it's been a game changer. But it has been some limitations, right? And that the cache location and all that stuff has been a big one. So I appreciate that for sure. So yeah, solid release. Thanks for joining me tonight. I think this was kind of fun. If you like this type of video, let me know. Got another guest coming next week, and we got a really good lineup this season. So appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're interested, head on over to community.bimafterdark.com to hang out with me and all of the great members over there. And again, comment below if you want to see more of some of these features. Cheers. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.